we've been talking a lot about the notion of innovation, and I guess I'm here to talk to you a little bit about how that actually occurs within your culture, how that actually happens in your business. And I guess businesses are about people. And how do we engage with people well so they are innovative, so they are ideating consistently? And for many people that I work with, particularly in law firms or other professional services industries, they're quite daunted by this whole notion of change or leading change. A lot of people say to me, well, look, how do we actually do it? What is it that we need to do? So when we start to think about the notion of thriving and leading change, it certainly could imply that you may not yet be thriving, or you were once thriving but not anymore, or you are thriving and you want to continue to thrive. And this means you must continually ask yourself, what's next? What is our next practice in our law firm in order to either begin to thrive or to return to thriving or to continue to thrive? And a statement of fact that answers these questions is inevitably you must innovate to thrive. Or more accurately, you must design to innovate in order to thrive, because if you don't, in the end, you'll be overtaken. So what I mean by thriving, what is it that I actually mean by thriving? I mean growing, developing vigorously, flourishing, prospering, achieving success, and going really, really strong. And when we talk about design, because it certainly is now coming into many professional practices, and it comes from the design industry. I work with a lot of architects and their designers, and they have a particular process, but we're now bringing this into many other industry sectors. Design being something intentional. It's about something that could work. It's a method of imagining something that does not yet exist, and then arranging elements required to make it a reality. So design is actually equal parts embracing constraints, it's challenging the status quo, and it's certainly summoning energy and courage. So when we think about leading design, what we mean about leading design is certainly about what is our next practice. What is it that we have to practice next as well in our behaviours and in our thinking? Whoops. Sorry, guys. So I love this quote called "Chance favours only the prepared mind." And I guess that's what we're talking about today, in the sense that we need to come to design with a prepared mind. Today, what we're going to be presenting, or what I'm going to be presenting with you, is looking at some case studies of innovation, and certainly case studies outside of law firms. We're going to be looking at some of the forces impacting law firms, and then looking at some of the design tools for leading change, certainly design tools that I work with in different organisations. So let's look at some of the thriving organisations in other sectors. These businesses are certainly innovating to tap into new markets and new services or products. In the process, they've actually disrupted their industry sector. So it's useful to look at other sectors simply because they are your clients. The three case studies that I'm going to be talking about are lawyers' clients. And I think it's very, very interesting when we start to look outside of our own sector. In fact, I think it's one of the greatest qualities a leader can have today is by looking at different sectors outside their own. Why? Because we can pilfer from them, and we can start to take ideas from other sectors and put them into our own. And don't forget that the legal sector is certainly a part of a much, much larger system, an interconnected system, an interdependent system, and we rely on that system. So we need to have an understanding what that system is up to, as opposed to just having our blinkers on and looking at our own sector.